Let's take a little look. Dreamy hunting is incredibly frustrating, and if you've ever spent a couple hours mashing the B button to Orville and Wilbur's insatiable chattering, then you are no doubt more than already aware of this. But fear not, because by the end of this video, you will be a dreamy hunting expert. Before we can get island hopping, there's a couple things you will need. 1, you will need an empty plot on your island, and 2, you will need Nook Miles tickets, which can be purchased at the Nook Stop terminal in Resident Services, and I'm afraid you're not going to need just one, but quite a few tickets for this one. Now that we've got all that, we can go ahead and talk about villagers. So there are 36 different species of villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons, ranging all the way from alligators to wolves. Some species are very similar, but they're actually different. For example, monkeys are not gorillas, and cubs are not bears. It's important to note that it's not possible to find a villager that is already on your island. However, if you do have a villager on your island, that species will become more popular. For example, if you have Octavian on your island, you'll be more likely to find the other octopi as well. There are also some myths surrounding which villagers you can find on your villager hunts. For example, a lot of people think that personalities have a lot to do with which villagers appear on your islands. For example, some people believe that if you already have a snooty or a cranky villager, you won't be able to find them on your island hunts. This is not true. You can find any villager with any personality type on an island hunt. A lot of people also seem to think that the time of day dictates which animals you can find on your villager hunts. However, this is not true. You can find any villager at literally any time of day. It is entirely possible to find the same villager more than once on an island hunt, which is extremely annoying. I found the same villager twice, and you can find the same villager literally any amount of times. There is no limit to how many times you will find the same villager. It's also crucial to note that as soon as a plot becomes available on your island, you're going to want to fill that plot as soon as possible. Apparently, you can have a plot empty for up to 4 days before it automatically fills. However, I do not trust this. I've only ever had it go to about 1 or 2 days, so always try to get your villager in that plot as soon as possible. If 1 day is not enough time for you to find a replacement villager, you can of course change the date and time on your Nintendo Switch console. By doing this, you can time travel back in time to keep the plot open for as long as you like, for as long as you need to find your replacement villager. It's also worth noting that if you have more than one plot available on your island for whatever reason, you can only take one villager home per day. So if you go on an island tour and you find a villager that you want to bring home, that will fill their plot, but from then on you cannot get any more villagers during that day. Now let's talk about your moving queue. This is basically villagers that move out of your friends' islands if you've been playing online, and it can consist of up to 4 villagers at any one time. Any villagers in your moving queue cannot be found on mystery islands. If you want to check which villagers are in your moving queue, you can do this by using the Amiibo phone in Resident Services and scanning their Amiibo card. If it says they're unavailable, it means that they're in your queue. However, I am willing to assume that if you already have a villager's Amiibo card, you're probably not going to be wanting to hunt for them anyway, but regardless, this information is still worth noting. Villagers in your friends move out queues will move into your empty plot if you do not fill it quick enough, so get a move on. Also, even if you've never played online before, the game will automatically pick a random villager to move in sometimes, so it's still worth noting. So now let's get to everyone's favourite portion of the video, the maths section. I'm going to use the octopi for this example since there's only 3 of them in that species. Now let's say for example I wanted to get Octavian on my island. I would have a 1 in 3 chance of finding Octavian since there's only 3 octopi, and a 1 in 35 chance of finding an octopus since there are 35 species in Animal Crossing. All I would have to do is times that 1 in 3 chance by 1 in 35, and that would give me a total of 1 in 105 chances of finding Octavian, which is equal to roughly 0.95% chance. Yay! So if you want to try this with a different villager, all you have to do is times the number of species by the 1 in 35% chance. Thank you Koromora for helping me with my math homework, and that will give you a rough idea of how many chances you have for looking for the particular villager that you want. So that is everything you need to know for villager hunting. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I have a video coming out next week all about how you can find your Dreamies via the campsite, so stay tuned for that. And otherwise, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!